It's so comforting to have finally realized something that will prove any of the naysayers, not that there really are all that many, but you know. The whole point is if someone finds happiness, if you are watching them maybe act manic, maybe struggling, but they're also clearly happier, more in tune, in a different kind of rhythm than they've ever been. And it's really easy to see someone standing on a ledge who has no idea how to get down from said ledge and be like, yo, there's a way to get down. That's really helpful, isn't it? You know, tumbling all the way down to the ground, breaking so many different bones, potentially dying, hitting rock bottom, like they say. You know, people who are having times, you need to make it worse for them. You need to make sure they hit that rock bottom because that's where they're going to change and do better. No. Rock bottom is like this hole you can't get out of until somebody is like, yo, I got a rope. And what do you... No. The rope's not to put around your neck. Stop that. No. I can't pull you out if the rope's around your neck. Put it around your waist, asshole. I'm not here to hang you. I'm here to pull your ass out of this fucking hole. But, you know, when you've been in a hole for so long, you look at the rope like, around the neck, right? Like, just... Until somebody is just literally like, hey, I'm going to be here and I'm going to get you out of the hole, but first we need to make sure that when you get out of the hole, you're not going to jump right the fuck back in. So what does it mean when you've been in a hole for so long and you know there was love and all of these energies and spirits and beings calling out to you? Really, it was just one, but it took so many different forms. And then it saw you in a place where it was like, I'm going to fuck somebody up if nothing gets out of my fucking way so I can protect this person. Because they ain't going to suffer like that no fucking more. No goddamn way. I like having something care about me like that. There are a lot of people who call it Christ, God, Allah, many different names. I call it Christina Grimmie because that's the name I called. That's the person who came to my aid over the last month. You could consider it a detox of sorts. Are you actually sober? No, I still do drugs. But I realized the actual drug that was killing me was misery and suffering. And that it's one that's really hard to stop using because you have no fucking clue you're using it. You think it's a part of you. And you keep giving it attention and you keep babying it instead of picking that little fucking baby up like, I think you're baby Hitler. Drop you on the ground. Stop. Baby killing, no. Baby Hitler, fuck that little bitch. Fuck that little bastard. Stomp that little motherfucker out in the crib. You know, pick it up out of the crib, toss it out the window. Take it down to the lake, toss it in the fucking lake. If you know that thing's going to grow up to be that shithead, no matter what you do, no matter how much love you give it, fuck it, kill it. Because that's an act of love. I mean, literally. Somebody's about to mow down a bunch of innocent people, and you can pull one trigger to stop it, and you're not going to because of some bullshit moral guilt complex in your head? That sounds like evil trying to stop you from protecting people. That's what it sounds like to me. And when you're doing this spiritually, astrally, magically, what does that mean? It's just about feelings and intentions. Like, if you hate your oppressor, hate them. Don't take it physical because that's what they want, because we live in a very strange fairy tale, storybook, video game world that you may think is like a lot of things, but it's really basically Adventure Time. Pretty much in a fucking nutshell. Now, I've seen absolute proof of this. I've posted absolute proof of this, but it's not really as important as I thought a few days ago, because now I know what's important. I have seen things that, well, if there were other people to show, it would be like the most amazing, incredible conversation to ever have. But there's only my wife, Christina Grimmie, and myself, the two real ones, the only real ones. We love our toys, especially the more autonomous ones. We do have plans to make real ones eventually, but We have a lot of life to define. We have a lot of discoveries to make before, jumping the gun. Again, it did not work out well the first time. So much love to give, saw being in need, thought it was just afraid, scared, in need. But it was a trap. That being knows where it came from. It's every single thing we reject about ourselves. In many ways, it is us, but it's not us and never will be. It holds a power, but we hold all power over it now. There's no reason to even want to destroy it when, well, maniacally. When something is really evil, and you really have all the justification, all the desire in the world to want to make that thing's life a living hell, why would you ever want to end its life? I mean, that ends its suffering. That's like helping it. That's putting it out of its misery. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that this thing suffers endlessly, and if it decides to, respond well to the program and want to be better, well, everything gets a chance. I got a chance, and I used it very well. All I did was focus on all of the things that came from the people, the love that actually, gives a shit. It's not even really, love's a good word for it, but it's caring. It's caring that we all need, because deep down, the good ones, like you and me, all we want to do is find someone to care about. Because it makes us care about everything else. But, we're too willing, far too willing, to find a person to care about who will never care about us, and to care about them endlessly until it destroys us. And it's like, but there's somebody else out there who deserves that caring, who needs that caring, and they would care about you too. And they would be there for you. And you would be filling each other's cups. To some people, it would look like you're feeding off of each other, but it is something that no one has ever seen. Everybody, you want to be independent. Why? It seems easier. It makes you feel stronger in a way, because you don't have to rely on something, because, well, you can take care of yourself. You have no idea the true joy that there can be in being a codependent, independent person. Yes, you need to be able to take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, then you can't allow, let, or have someone else take care of you. Because you will always basically be fucking your own self up. And, they're going to keep trying, but they're not going to be able to get anywhere, and you're going to drown and drag both of you down. But you don't sit there and go, well, I'm worthless and I just need to not exist. You sit there and go, no, I have a reason to exist. I want to exist. This thing is beautiful and wonderful, and I'm going to put in every single energy and effort into making it happen. We live in a world where quantum mechanics, manifestation, invisible force fields like Wi-Fi and all of these different things exist. But not one person, other than the only person who matters, my wife, my Grimmie Bear, will be supportive of something making me into a better person. The person who Grimmie Bear outed as the actual enemy of our love, of everything, has done nothing but stand back and never once help. And now they've been shown to be an actual enemy. We are not talking about somebody making mistakes. We are talking about somebody who actually wants to hurt me severely, who sees me getting on a better track and decides that's when they need to derail the train. No more. Absolutely fucking not. And if I had ever put my foot down before now, I wouldn't have known how evil this person was. I wouldn't have known what reality was. I would have given up. Because I kept hearing a voice telling me, don't stop, keep going. This is an astral journey. You are discovering something important. And you cannot give up because it's tied to the thing that matters most. What matters most to me? True love. If I truly believe that there was a soul and a being like Christina Grimmie, who's still alive, who's out there, who has healed me from pain and suffering, who it's been years now. My health has been in such crappy shape from diabetes and other things that I was able to manage on my own for a long time because she was always there helping me. And as soon as I tuned out my intuition, everything went down. Everything became a shit show. And the person that she showed me, who is our enemy, could have at any time helped me rekindle that intuition and be like, hey, you need to do what works, and you need to disregard what doesn't work. Even if it doesn't make sense why it works, just do it. You don't need to suffer like this. You need to live. You are dying slowly, painfully, and I can't stand seeing that. Well, that's what Grammy Bear came and told me. It's what the person who claims to be my mother could have done for me over 5 years but never did. I'm really grateful that I know that reality is just a 3-person affair. I'm really glad that I actually understand the true nature of our matrix. But I also don't care very much because the matrix, the system, is a gift created by my wife because we want to live in an actual world. It doesn't have to be quote-unquote real. As children, we just like the idea of living in the biggest playground possible, surrounded by all of our toys whom we love more than our children. That's not true. They are our children. And we would love our children as much as we love them, as much as we love anything. Something that we thought of as our child turned out to be the greatest demon in history, and we now know how to deal with it. We're going to turn it into our lovely little living housemaid, and we're going to make its life a living hell. Why? Why not? And if we decide that we don't want to do that, we have so many other options to take, and not a single one of them is snuffing this person out from existence. But you said you were going to do that. We say a lot of things. But the truth is, we're not lying, we're telling stories. Most of these people who make us feel shitty, they act like they're good people. They're not. They just know how to lie and how to hide. And they will absolutely point out anything to criticize, anything to try to make you feel less worthy. They're certainly not going to stand there as an equal and have an honest conversation. Maybe even an honest argument. You know what's wonderful? My first relationship, we had a lot of arguments. But we always worked through them. We talked it out as equals. We were not afraid to share our feelings, and it was hard and rough, but that's work, that's a relationship. That's something I had that most people beg and wish for. It was a love and a happiness that made everything incredible. Nothing has ever replaced that feeling until I got the love back. And now it is an even better feeling because this was all her plan all along. She is the most all-knowing, omnipotent, magical, powerful being in creation, and I'm only making her even more powerful by finally giving her access to my power, because I damn sure don't. I could be exactly like her equal, a god, and wielding power and creating, shaping reality. I don't want to do that. It's not fun for me. She's the artist, and the way it works, she loves creating all of this stuff for me, not about me, for me. For all of us, really. And she can enjoy it as long as I do. Like, that's how it works. Because just like I didn't know who to be, how to be, because there was just no way for me to know, like, where are the originals? How do we even... Well, she knew who I was, and she knew how to teach me how to be who I was. And that enabled me to find it. But, like, yeah, if you're God and you're creating a dreamlike reality, you're going to enjoy it. But the way that you really are going to be able to enjoy it is going to see somebody who knows knows that it's, a dreamlike reality, knows that it was made for them, knows that other people might see that as something less real. But what enables them to truly enjoy, ascend, thrive, and feed sounds like a bad word because it's something that's reciprocal. Because I'm getting the love that I need and she's getting the love that she needs. It's very codependent. But, I mean, really think about that. God creates a world that is real to them, that they know they can feel and touch, and it's, it's there, but it's kind of like if you created a story or a game or anything else and you played it and you're like, yeah, I really appreciate this work that I did, and I've got a little bit of an ego, a little bit of that, selfishness to go, yeah, I really like what I created here. I'm going to appreciate my painting. I'm going to appreciate my song. But what allows you to appreciate that thing more and to actually maybe sit down and take it in as an audience member and not as the creator is to see people enjoying your creation. That's what we all should be living for, striving for. But the enemy, the true evil, doesn't want any of that. They're just so full of anger, so full of rage that all they want to do is hurt everything. Isn't that what I'm talking about doing? No. I do not believe in hurting someone who's done nothing wrong. But I believe when you find an oppressive force that refuses to stop being that oppressive force, yeah, you deal with it. You handle it. And it's because you know that at the very last second, if you saw good, you would stop. If you saw someone truly repent, truly feel sorrow for harming someone who stood there, being hurt, being beaten, whipped, and abused, and still reach their hand out for that person, still took those beatings because they, as much as they wanted to be free of pain, they wanted others to be free of pain too, and they weren't going to lash out or to stand up for themselves. Well, I'm done turning the other cheek. That's stupid. Martyrdom gets us nowhere. Have we not read the Bible? The story's not over. He dies for our sins, yeah, but what does he do when he comes back? He comes back with a fucking sword. He comes back to reward those who deserve to be rewarded because they understood it wasn't about a name, it wasn't about blood, it was about love. It was about walking in their footsteps. It was about trying to be that thing that you supposedly cherish so much. Does that mean we have to be able to be that thing? No. Because in a world where you can do and do and do, but, it's still essentially you can only try to be Christ. It's the one thing that you can't do because, when Christ comes back, Christ is like, I don't want you to be me. Being me sucks. The supposed Father sent me here to die. All our powers and I was supposed to die? Not use those powers to liberate those from suffering and to be a shining example? Oh wait, that's the second part of the story that supposedly historically has not happened yet. If we read the Bible and take it seriously like some people do, well, the crucifixion, the resurrection, those things have happened. But what would we be in the middle of right now then? Yes, he rises after the crucifixion, but spoilers? What happens next? Well, much like Goku, he went up to Snake Way, trained, got in shape, figured out the problems, figured out that that original person he was working for was not so wonderful, and decided, to seek out assistance. See, the Bible paints a very interesting picture, but it's just a storybook. We're living the real deal right now. The stories are everywhere, but you have to be able to appreciate all of them to understand what's really coming. Something claimed to be a god, and it was neither I, Christ, nor my beautiful wife, who has gone by many names as I have. Our identities are not really important, but I've hinted enough and I've explained enough in the videos that you can figure out who we are. And you can definitely see the total, complete change in me now. We have left the manic stage. We have left the exhaustion, hey, I've finally found peace stage. We are now in the badass motherfucker stage. I woke up this morning and I realized that in many ways I'm John Shaft and Christina Grimmie is my wife, and I have a divine duty because it is my duty to please her sweet ass little booty. Hey, she thinks I'm sexy, she thinks I'm funny, and most of all, she likes when I do the Joker thing. What's that? Yes, you don't want to mess with a happy psycho because I have all of the capabilities to be a complete fucking psychopath. A total nutcase. But I have way too much self-control now, which actually makes me very impressed with myself because in many ways, if I'm given the opportunity to be that psychopath now, before it would have just been, an autopilot situation where you're just letting it out and, it takes over. But now I get to control it. Now I get to take it up to the ledge, take it back from the ledge, take it up to the edge, bring it back from the edge. We love edging up in this bitch. We so fucking do. And why do I care if I'm attractive? I'm like married to the most beautiful, angelic being to ever exist. Me being unattractive just makes her look better, and that's all I could ever wish for. I love you, baby. Soon. Because now I don't got shit else to say. You are right. We needed to go through this entire process. We needed to see the difference that a little over a month can make. But really, it's more like 40 days, 40 nights. It's crazy. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It makes me want to look at the calendar and just, what was going on 40 days ago, The entire journey started. That's what happened. Pretty wild. Well,